Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Wyoming area Lady Warriors volleyball. Joining us is the head coach, Nick Diaco. Well, Nick, you have some seniors coming back this year. Good senior leadership. Let's talk about the league is always very competitive. Always seems to be the same teams, but you hope that you improve this year and get the best out of the girls there at Wyoming area.
Absolutely. This year we're returning everybody from our starting lineup, and we're looking to make a run. We made the playoffs the previous two seasons, making the 8th seed. We're looking to improve on that and climb up the rankings and try and compete with some of the top teams.
Well, buy-in is important. Let's talk about the buy-in from the girls and the work ethic that you're getting there at Wyoming area.
The girls have been nonstop year-round, always staying active, whether it be in track and field, basketball. So they've always been making sure to keep up. And we started open gyms and conditioning back in May. And 2 days a week, we've been, making sure we're in the gym, getting a few touches on the ball. And we also attended Penn State's team camp in late July. And the girls were able to compete with some of the best teams in the nation, and we've performed really well. And so it really made them excited. And ever since then, they've come to practice, working twice as hard.
Well, Nick, seems to be a pretty good cycle going on at Wyoming area the last couple of years. Track and field's been pretty darn good. Softball team, basketball teams coming around, field hockey team's good. Tell us about some of the players on the volleyball team, because you probably have a couple of multi-sport athletes, and then maybe you have a few girls that just concentrate on volleyball.
Definitely. One of my returners who made the All-Stars last year, Jess Sorick, she plays both basketball and track, and so she's constantly involved, and she's very athletic, and so she's always looking to improve. I also have another dual sport, or tri-sport, Nicole Wright, who's basketball and track. So these girls are constantly active, and but then when you go on to the other side of the ball, there's a few that just simply focus on volleyball. Lindsay Klingus, she's full-time volleyball focusing, but also we have other ones who are playing softball. So it's a really good mix of girls.
Nick, tell us about your philosophy with volleyball and the girls there at Wyoming area. What are you trying to kind of hammer home as far as some of the fundamentals and what you're trying to do?
What I tell them almost every day is volleyball, you have 6 players, but you have to play as one. So teamwork, leadership is all very important qualities, and also sportsmanship. When I was playing, and also when I watch other teams play, sportsmanship is such a key thing to show your opponent, referees, respect. And I try and hone that in for my girls, and they focus on that, and it really helps us succeed.
Holy Redeemer's kind of been the measuring stick in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Doesn't matter what division you're in, but tell us about, there's some other good programs. They're doing a lot of things right. Everybody's trying to catch them. Not easier said than done, but again, you got to do the best with what you have and how hard the girls are working. And you said these girls are going to camps and doing the little things that kind of trying to elevate the program.
Absolutely. In the past 2 seasons that I've been there, in playoffs, we've had a face-off with Holy Redeemer in Game 1, and last season we had to play them twice in 3 days. So the girls know what they're up against, and they know who the top team is in our conference. So they kind of look to these girls, and competition breeds competition. So I always stress that no matter what they've done, what their record is, and they haven't lost a game in the regular season, or match, I should say. So the girls play to their best, and that really helps. But other teams, such as North Pocono and Crestwood, are all teams that we're looking to compete with and kind of jump ahead of. And we'll be attending different tournaments with these teams and hosting scrimmages. So we're going to get good looks at all these teams that are just below Holy Redeemer as we try and climb the ladder.
Nick, when you focus on team sports, a lot of times people say defense wins championships. With volleyball, is there a different approach, or still is there an emphasis on defense? Tell us about your philosophy.
Definitely, I'm more of a defensive person. I play defense, and So it's kind of built my coaching strategy around that. My girls are, as most programs, everyone likes to hit and swing at the ball, but it's the teams who can pass the spikes, the kills, and those are the ones that succeed. And definitely this off season, I've been trying to hone in on defense with the girls and making sure we're covering the ball and covering the court where we need to. So defense is such a huge part in our philosophy.
Another thing you see a lot in volleyball is you see a lot of forced errors. I mean, just trying to keep the ball in play seems something at the high school level that's pretty darn important.
Absolutely. We last season we started off hot, but then went on a few game losing streak because a lot of mental errors, whether it be missed serves or shanked passes. So I use that as a reminder for the girls to make sure that we do everything for a reason, and that the team with the less errors are going to win the game. So we've been focusing in on basics and keeping control of the ball, because with that, you can easily go ahead and win a match.
Nick, we talk so often about football, double sessions. Of course, people get into field hockey in northeastern Pennsylvania. We have so many tremendous athletes. What's a typical preseason like for volleyball? Tell us how long you're in the gym and what it's like.
What we've been doing is 2-hour sessions twice a week, and starting in August 17th, we're allowed to make practices mandatory. So right now everything's non-mandatory. So the girls are coming in, warming up, and then we'll get into certain drills like rank slides, which is similar to what basketball teams do. The girls will be running up to the 10 line and back, to the net and back, and so on. Just little things. In volleyball, it's such an explosive game. You got to focus on quick movements. It's not so much, let's time yourself in a mile. It's how quick can you get to a ball? Are you quick enough to dive and things like that? So really quick, explosive movements are what we focus on.
Well, Nick, I know your expectations are high at Wyoming area this year and looking to, again, make the playoffs and improve with a pretty strong senior class this year. We appreciate your time, and best of luck this season.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wyoming area Lady Warriors volleyball with Coach Nick Diaco here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.